all that yummy food. He doesn't see himself as a failure in life. He's not a failed guide dog. He's just a dog who's shifted from this family to our family. Coming back here, well, it's just like coming back to his old home.
Hello, boy. Good boy.
Come on, boy. One of the most important lessons Cyrus has taught me is to focus on the future, not dwell on the past. The Apostle Paul, who also had a name change after a lifetime of spiritual failure, he said this, "But one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forward to those things which are ahead." The next time you feel like you've failed at something and you just can't get it out of your mind, think back to Cyrus. See the good things from the past. Live in the moment and enjoy what's coming to you in the future. That's how Cyrus here thinks. What about you?
Hello, boy. That's how you think, eh? That's how you think? Oh, yes, that's it. Oh, yes, that is how you think.
This is the grave of my mother. We can see by this plaque she loved dogs. She had 14 of them. Her favourite was Macintosh, a West Highland Terrier. On the day Mum was told she had terminal cancer, she came home and she took Macintosh in her arms. She hugged him with all the love she could give, and that's saying something. But tragically, the heart of Macintosh simply gave way and he died in her arms. Our dogs have a connection with us that's hard to explain. They're so loving and it seems like they understand our emotions and hurt when we hurt. I sometimes look into the eyes of Cyrus here and it's like looking into the eyes of my most loyal friend, someone who gets me. And I love to hear the stories of the love, faithfulness and loyalty of dogs. I read a story from Argentina of a German shepherd named Capitan. His owner, like my mother, had tragically died, leaving the whole family, including the dog, in mourning. When his master died, Capitan vanished. The widow and son Damien looked for him, but they figured he must have been run over and died as well. A week after the funeral, the family visited the graveside to remember the one they loved. Guess who beat them to the cemetery? The heartbroken Capitan. The news reports quoted the widow as saying, "The following Sunday we went to the cemetery and Damien recognised his pet. Capitan came up to us, barking and wailing as if he were crying. We'd never taken him to the cemetery, so it's a mystery how he managed to find the place." Cemetery director Hector Barsiga remembers the day he first saw the dog. He said, "He turned up here one day and all on his own, he started wandering all around the cemetery until he eventually found the tomb of his master. During the day, he sometimes has a walk around the cemetery, but he always rushes back to the grave, and every day at 6 o'clock sharp, he lies down on top of the grave and stays there all night. And he's done this for the past 6 years. You see, Capitan had such love within him, he searched and searched until he found the one he loved. The Bible says this of Jesus: "For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost." Well, when I thought about that, and I thought about the loyalty and commitment of Capitan to the one he loved, it made me think of my own commitment to those I love. I especially thought about my mother. You see, over the years, Mum's spiritual life began to drift. Before she died, I talked with her about the importance of being right with God. She said to me, "Neil, I can stop you right there. I know where you're heading, and you'll be pleased to know I've made the decision to trust God and believe fully in him." Well, when I stood up here to help conduct a funeral, right here in this spot, the comfort of those words really meant something to me. After all, when Jesus comes again, he won't just lay down on the graves like Capitan did. He'll break them open and he'll raise us from the dead. Jesus is totally committed to finding and saving the lost. What about you? If there's one thing my dog Cyrus loves, it's great big bones. Especially ones like this.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah,
Now, you may think that what I'm about to do is cruel, but like us humans, dogs need a bit of discipline and training.
yes.
So what I intend to do today is to teach him how to overcome temptation.
Yes.
I notice many of us fall into the trap of thinking, I must overcome my sins. And all we think about is our addictions and sins we need to stop, instead of Jesus. When the reality is only Jesus can give us the power to change our life.
Come on.
I'm doing this because I think all of us can learn something from Cyrus. You watch this. No. If there's one thing Cyrus understands, it's this. The best way to overcome temptation is to take your eyes off the temptation and look into the face of your master. The Bible says, "Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith." Now, of course, this is just an illustration, so I think I should give it to him. What do you think? Okay, Cyrus, where you go? Now, this is just a bit of fun, but in real life, sin is serious. The devil will give us poisonous bones. His temptations lead to death. We need to take the time to be with Jesus and ask him to give us the power to overcome those deep-seated sins and addictions. And the beauty of the gospel is this: the weakest sinner, when armed with the power of God, can overcome any temptation, anything. Cyrus has learned how to overcome temptation. What about you? Dogs are amazingly loyal. It's no wonder they're called man's best friend. In fact, I can't think of one occasion when Cyrus has let me down or been disloyal in any way. He doesn't run away. He doesn't look at me as if to say, "Oh, I'm not sure if I can trust you." He never growls at me or leaves me for another owner. He likes to just hang around. He especially loves it when I'm out in his territory, the great outdoors.